Most people my age are going to wake up at 30 and realize they spent their entire 20s loading into the wrong game, the wrong job, wrong habits, wrong priorities, and they didn't even choose that on purpose. It just kind of happened. And that almost happened to me as well. I'm 25, I work as a bookkeeper at my dad's company, I own my own house, and I train 4 days a week. And on paper, everything's fine. But I want more than just fine. I want to build something of my own, I want to move to Sweden, I want to work for myself, and I realized that none of that was going to happen if I kept living like an NPC, just doing the same daily loop and hoping something would change. So I made a plan, and in this video I'm going to walk you through it, step by step, exactly what I'm doing to escape the autopilot life and actually build something real. If you're in your early 20s and you feel like you're kind of just drifting, this is probably for you. So before I get into the plan itself, I need to tell you about the thing that kept me stuck for years without actually realizing it. And I call it the NPC mode. In gaming, NPCs don't make decisions. They follow a script, they walk the same road, saying the same lines, doing the same thing every single day. And they don't even know they're doing it. And here's the uncomfortable part. Most of us are living exactly like that. Here's what NPC mode actually looks like in real life. You wake up, you check your phone before you even get out of bed, and you scroll for 20 minutes. And the worst part is you already know this, but you do it anyway. You go through your day kind of on autopilot. Maybe you have a job you didn't really choose as much as it just appeared. You eat the same stuff, you sit in the same spots, and you have the same 3 conversations. And then in the evening, when you finally actually have some free time, you dump it straight into random dopamine. Netflix, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, or another session of whatever game you've been grinding since forever. And not because it's fun, but because it's easy. And I was doing it, and not even like the extreme version, just the version where your days feel full, but you end each week with nothing actually built. The problem is that your environment is designed to keep you in the loop. Every app, every platform, every notification, it's all optimized to keep your attention. So basically, you're just running someone else's program. The first step to escaping it is actually recognizing you're in NPC mode. And you do that by asking yourself one question. If I keep doing exactly what I'm doing right now, same habits, same schedule, same input, where am I going to be in 5 years? If the honest answer makes you just a little uncomfortable, that's good, because that's where change starts. So once you've diagnosed a problem, what do you actually do about it? After a lot of trial and error, I've figured out that there are really only 3 things that move the needle if you want to go from NPC to someone who's actually building a life. I call them the 3 levers, and most people pull 1 or even 0 of them. If you pull all 3, even imperfectly, you separate yourself from 95% of the people your age. So lever 1 is your body. I come from a powerlifting background, and I won a national title in my weight and age class, and I can tell you from experience that nothing changes your default settings faster than being in shape. Not because muscles make you successful, but because the discipline of training, showing up when you don't feel like it, being uncomfortable on purpose, and seeing progress from consistent efforts, that actually transfers directly into every other area of your life. When I was training, I made better decisions everywhere. I was sharper at work, I slept better, I wasted less time, and your body is the engine. Everything else runs on it. So practically you don't need to be a powerlifter, but I want you to be at least moving heavy things about 2 to 3 times a week and just get your heart rate up, and that's honestly the first lever. Lever 2 is your finances. I'm a bookkeeper, so numbers are my job. So I'm going to be straight with you. Most people in their early 20s are terrible with money. Not because they're irresponsible, but because nobody actually taught them the basics. The move isn't complicated. You need to know what's coming in and you need to know what's going out, and make sure something is going somewhere useful every single month, even if that's like a very small amount. When I started tracking my net worth, like literally just a spreadsheet with what I own, what I owe, and that changed everything, because now money wasn't this fake anxiety cloud. It was a number I could see and slowly improve over time. One thing I added early was automating a portion of every paycheck into savings and investments before I could even spend it. Small percentage, doesn't matter, the habit is the point. You can't out-earn bad financial habits long term. And stop spending money on things designed to impress people who probably don't even care about you anyway. Lifestyle inflation is how people trap themselves in jobs they hate for decades. And level 3 is building proof. This is the one I don't think anybody has talked about, or not that I have seen. In 2025, a degree and a resume are not enough on their own anymore. I mean, it kind of depends what you want to do, but I'm just saying what actually moves and opens doors is proof. Proof that you can do the thing, a portfolio, a project, a result, something visible and real that shows what you're capable of without you having to say a word. And for me, that's gonna be this channel. I'm building it in public. Every video is proof of what I can do and what I'm learning. And for you, it doesn't have to be YouTube. It could be a side project, a small freelance client, something you've built online. The point is, stop just getting ready and start leaving a trail, because when you're 22 and you've already shipped something real while everyone else was planning to start and saying they were going to start, you don't need to convince anybody of anything. The proof does it for you. Okay, so you've diagnosed the problem, you know the 3 levers. Now the question everyone always skips past is, how do you actually make it stick day to day? Because the gap between knowing something and doing it consistently is where most people lose. I've tried a lot of systems, and the one that actually works for me is pretty boring on purpose. Here's what it looks like. First, I plan the next day the night before. Not like a big plan, just 3 to 5 things that actually matter. That's it. When I wake up, I already know what I'm doing and I start doing it instead of spending the first hour figuring out what the first hour should look like. This sounds stupidly simple, but waking up with no plans means you'll just respond to whatever hits you first. And what hits you first in the morning is almost never the thing that actually moves your life forward. Second, I protect the first 2 hours of my day. No phone, no social media, no news, just the work I have to do. I do the hardest, most important things first because that's when I have the most focus, and if the day falls apart after that, at least the most important things got done. A lot of people do it backwards. They check their phones first, which immediately puts them in reactive mode, responding to other people's agenda instead of their own. Your morning is the only time of the day that's completely yours. Guard it. Third, I track things, not obsessively, but consistently. My workouts, my finances, what I created this week, because what gets measured gets improved. And more importantly, tracking creates accountability to yourself. Even if you don't have a system for this yet, start with one number, one thing that you can measure weekly. Over time, add more. The habit of tracking is more important than what you track. Fourth, I cut the inputs that don't serve me. This one's ongoing. Every few weeks, I'll notice something in my daily routine that just drains time without giving anything back. It could be a social media app, a habit I kept for no reason, time spent with people who leave me feeling worse, or something else. You become what you repeatedly consume. If you're feeding your brain outrage, comparison, and drama every day, that's your worldview. Study people who've done what you want to do and learn from their mistakes before you have to make them yourself. That's basically the whole system, and it's not revolutionary, it's just consistent, and consistency beats intensity every single time. And I'm not going to pretend I've escaped anything yet. I'm still working the day job, I'm still building this, like the Sweden plan is still a plan, and none of it has happened yet. But I'm not drifting anymore. I have a direction, I have a system, and every week I'm building something that didn't exist the week before. That's the difference between NPC mode and player mode. It's not about already having everything figured out, it's about being the one making the decisions instead of just following whatever script you've got handed. If you're starting from zero, that's completely fine. I was there too. The only thing that matters is that you actually start something. So pick one thing from this video, one lever, one habit, one change. Do it this week. That's it. If you want to follow the journey as I figure this out in real time, subscribe because I post here consistently, and that's the actual plan, just working. See you in the next one.